All right, let's get it, man. Elite Digital Radio presents the Elite Podcast. Elite Digital Radio, the music app, is now available on Apple and Android. EliteDigitalRadio.com, check the webpage. Elite Digital Radio, the IG page. Elite Digital Radio presents the Elite Podcast, now available on our YouTube channel. It's not just a name, it's a lifestyle. Hey, season 2, man, episode 12. Elite Digital Radio, the app, presents the Elite Podcast. The Elite Podcast will provide a platform of conversations that will discuss diverse intellectual interviews that may resonate with you or to you in our culture. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Them Elite Boys is at it again. I'm your host, Most Hated 6Ds, alongside my co-host,
Laws 24.
As y'all see, Laws already started with the shit, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. This Cannabis series, man, season 2. Yeah, I mean, hey, Elite. Woo! Tonight we got another banger, man. Tonight we back with, hey, as that boy Khaled say, another one. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we gonna welcome Mr. Worldwide to the set, man. Yet another self-made
Worldwide.
You know what I'm saying? Another self-made entrepreneur in this cannabis industry, man. Hey, let's jump into this, man. Elite, please help us welcome Sapo Worldwide to the show.
Man, incredible.
Peace.
Incredible.
Peace.
Man, the journey has been an incredible one. And I feel like just being right back full circle, sitting with Laws, man, and now meeting yourself, we're just continuing to build ground, dude. You know what I mean? It still feels fresh, and I still feel like this is a very young thing, and we're just getting at it as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, see, my boy's joining me. You said I was starting off this way, but my boy right in it with me. Boom, boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Cannabis fucking series.
Let's do it, man. Hey, man, peace, man. Like I said, man, out to the show, man. But before we dig in too deep, man, let's let you introduce yourself to our audience, man. Give yourself a little background of where you from, where you came from, I mean.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got to, because I'll get into the dabs right away if you let me. Everybody calls me Sapo, Sapo Worldwide. You know, I believe that the worldwide end of it is because I truly believe that the only thing that divides us is ourselves. Every day it's our opportunity to make the changes we want to see around us, be the change we want to see. I'm in Flint, Michigan. I was born here, raised here, and the people here have always been, in my opinion, labeled undesirables or ghetto or whatever. And to that, I'd say, you know, I've been a lot of places, and here's where I feel most at home. And I've been welcomed by the largest amount of community. And, you know, there's so much good that's still going on here that goes unseen because of the dark shadow.
Right.
But there's so much bright light. And so this is where we've chosen to build. As Sapo Worldwide, I've been part of both the cannabis and the music communities. I've brought together stages and performances that have ranged from, you know, showcasings where we've been able to bring Snoop Dogg to the stage. We've been able to bring Paul Wall to the stage. We've been able to put together showcases that included 3-6 Mafia, and then down to our hometown artists who are now nationally getting recognition, you know, like YNJ and Louis Ray, Crispy Life Kid, YSR Grams, and now some of our more of our vibe artists that have a different sound, King Cassius included, and Jeff Skies, and, you know, Cameron Tyler, Ace Cabana, Cam Howe, all these different names and people that are featuring and moving around. And then through that anyway, man, I really came up, and how I met Laws was being able to work alongside brands that I was already working with at High Times villages. And through those villages, you start to connect with people on a closer network. Instead of being side by side competing, you're starting to get that interior family vibe of what can we do for each other. And what are we missing? And from that, we knew we wanted to open up our own space. And so myself and a few other partners and friends, allies, we were able to open up Vehicle City Social in
Shout out Skunk Works.
And Vehicle City, man, is, as far as I know, we're the longest operating 365 cannabis private members lounge for caregivers and patients, with an event center included, full kitchen, breakfast, lunch, dinner service. You can come there and get food to go. You can come play ping pong or pool. You can come use the Wi-Fi or watch the big screens. And whatever you do, we just want to do it with you. So basically anything you want to do, so you're here, we wanted to have a community space to do that with everybody. So we're going on our 6th year of operation now. And with that, you know, brings us right here to where we're at. And we're getting ready to bring that in.
I was going to say 2016 it opened up, right? Because when you opened, we threw the High Times party there.
Yeah, we actually, we hadn't really told anybody that we had our approval yet. And we were just sitting on the gem, and High Times was in. We got the approval from High Times to put the post up, and that was our push out of the gate. You know, if you ever needed one, let it be all your friends from all over the world. They're wanting to have a party, and you got this new place to do it in. So we let it happen and push through, and Township's been really cool with us to let us guide them, and them as well ride with us on a learning experience that is safe transfer through a patient to caregiver network, where our intention is to avoid people being isolated in their home, smoking weed alone, and not knowing what they're getting from where they get it from. Mm-hmm. So through social interactions and social clubs, lounges, and what we provide, I think that we give people a translucent experience with cannabis, where they get to see the gardener, they get to meet the guy that packages it. In some cases, you know, it's far more intimate, and you can see other patients, how it affected them directly. You can see people that you're going to relate to in one way or the other, where a bud tender's job is to tell you what sells the best, you know?
So damn, Sop, you got all of this under one roof?
Yes, sir.
Damn, man, that's some good.
So when you come into the club, you got a huge dance floor, right? Open. The bar seating and stables around that. Then you've got your section off, then all your seating area, full kitchen. Then you've got a back room private area and an adjacent in your office area, as well as your storage. So it was a 14,000 square foot line dancing country western bar. Yeah, it's nice. We've had a lot of good shows in there. We had Snoop come and play. There was 50 of us in there that night, raging? Bro, that show was so small and tight. We had Snoop come in. He DJ'd for us. We rocked it out in there. Fucking, dude, it's a great spot. I love it. Every time I'm in Michigan, bro, that's where I'm at.
Damn, man. It's crazy. That's what.
Yeah, we've been really blessed to be able to find a space where, you know, I'd like to believe that what we're doing is, in a major way, there are no statistics that are, I don't want to say relevant, but there are no statistics for a business other than dispensaries that are being tracked as far as like nuisance-wise or police response or impact on the community type of thing, you know what I mean? And what I believe that we're doing is we're setting precedents for that, to show that Rite Aid and McDonald's and other places around us have a worse impact on the community, a higher police response, more. You can't frown upon something that makes a positive impact on the community around you. And they try with all they can to say that cannabis is this or it's that, it's a gateway or it has stigma or people or families or traffic or whatever you want to say is the downfall of it. We've shown time and time again at the social that that's just not the case, because if there is somebody parked in your way, they're not belligerent drunk at the bar ready to fight you to move the car. They're ready to move the car and help you however they can. And we have so many friends in the community that are farmers market based, that we are able to get fresh fruits and vegetables and do different types of community outreach and community meal days where we're having like free food on certain days. Like Sunday last week, we had a Cuban family, community members come in and do a completely free banquet for anybody that came in from a certain time to a certain time.
Yeah. So it's basically a strong community base you got there, Sop.
You know, when I tell people to come to Flint, I hear a lot of times, is it safe there? You know?
Well, and that's it, because, I mean, just me personally, when I hear Flint, I mean, I'm like, oh shit, it's some rough shit. And it is, but you know what it is the people are just hardened to it. I don't think that there's more people that want harm for each other than there are somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I think that the community has that the social impact from the the local councils and things like this, they really do a poor job of including the residents in these resolutions. And one of the things that's been formed in the city of Flint is that now there's a community task force or a city council review that gets to anything that any police reports that come in and any city council reports they have to review that come in. Mm-hmm. There's a group of selected community members, just residents, that get to see the same stuff now and read it. Okay. So that no police reports can be washed without review by citizens, and no city council decisions can be washed without review by citizens. So since they've started doing that, it's a lot harder for them to be so corrupt. But this is definitely a high level of corruption within the city, and things in places like there used to be a Six Flags theme park in Flint, Michigan called Auto World. Mm-hmm. And one of the main things that we really focus on here in Flint is the brand Auto World. And it was basically taken back by some community members, good friends of mine. Shout out Javon and Isaac and these guys for picking it up and putting it on for the city. But Six Flags basically invested into it to pretty much embezzle a bunch of money. And ultimately, the University of Michigan collapsed the theme park and built a college on it. Mm-hmm. But the city has a dark history of that happening, all the way back to, we hear about Buick and Chevrolet coming from Flint, but we don't hear about Patterson Auto. And Patterson was the first car built here from the ground up. And then very much so in the same way was bought out, done dirty by Chevrolet and corrupted and turned into a Buick. And nobody hears these stories about this. We just know that we love Buick because it was here, but really it's it really should be a Patterson still if they didn't steal all the stuff from the old man. All right. But Sam, let me go back real quick. What do you think? What changed that law though? That now that your citizens can see these things. Did you guys actually go to the town? Was there that's a great question. Pandemic. During pandemic, we had the Black Lives Matter march and protests. Right.
And I was there myself here in Flint, and our chapter head, Johnny Franklin, was able to actually call a meeting with some of the city officials and chief of police and basically ask for that. And, more or less, instead of having to demand it or go further, they negotiated an agreement to have one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was a translucency thing where basically, you know, this protest was going somewhere, you know, and it just happened that they directed it right at the right people and said, listen, if you don't want us to leave you alone, we want to see what's going on behind these, you know, pieces of paper behind closed doors that we don't ever get to see, and then we'll be a lot more comfortable with it. And so so that has done some impact around the community, because now they do get a view at it. As far for us, for the marijuana thing and for the music thing, it's still very much not accepted. You know, they don't allow consumption almost anywhere. They don't want to see it. The dispensaries are very much so. They would rather deliver it to you or have you just sit in your car and bring it out to you. It's still just like a, you know, they don't want it to be a social thing.
Right.
And that's the next stigma that we're up against, is trying to show them that what we've brought to the table is peaceful, or are peaceful experiences, you know, good social activities with good food, good music, good people, and ultimately that experience is what people take home. So really trying to put a taste for it back in there. And I think that's the biggest thing, is the terps. You know, there's not a focus on good weed. People talk about weed, but nobody talks about good weed.
Truth.
It's like, you know, if you give away something to somebody, it's not going to be the best weed you got.
Right. Hell yeah. Hey,
And
what you gonna say?
I just, that's what it always felt like to me, was like even today, I had some really good smoke. We were doing a pheno hunt on a new strain called Fire Crotch. And somebody asked me, they were like, hey, you got a joint? And I was about to go into a bag and get something different, but I'm like, no, fuck that. This is what I'm smoking. I do have a joint. So that's what I get, you know what I mean? I broke them out, my pheno hunt, private jar stash of what I'm smoking. And I'm like trying to make that, not necessarily like give everything you have, but like, man, find compassion and share the joy. Like,
Right.
I truly believe that if we all did what we could, we would all have more than we need. Whether that means that, you know, you can cook really good, or you know how to stretch a buck, you know, with shopping for clothes, or you got a better plug on, you know, a grower or a system that grows for less, or you know, whatever end of the spectrum that you're really good at. You know how to freeze dry faster than the next guy, or you know, a washer that costs half the price, or whatever it is. If we all did what we could, there's only so many people that are going to do so many things in life, and it works way easier, and we all function better, and it flows. And I've seen so many teams build up and then tear apart from I don't know, man. People get this ego about them once they see behind the mirrors and curtains and everything, you know, and they're like, well, I could do that on my own. Yeah. And you're like, you know, you could do a version of that. You can do a version of that on your own, but it ain't going to be this flawless functioning machine that you see. And,
Hey, let's dig into it now, Stop. Like, when did cannabis really, you know what I'm saying, become prevalent to you?
Oh man, I'm a young smoker. I picked up the habit far too early. I thought that I was mimicking something that I'd seen around me, and I thought that it was cigarette butts, to be honest. My first experience.
Okay.
And I was smoking roaches.
Okay. Well, okay. And
I never let up from it. You know what I mean? I immediately got in trouble for it, but the intrigue came in a form that it was like I was in more trouble for the cigarette butts than I was for this other stuff. And then I realized that like it was kind of a secret, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, very young, too early, I had access to information and people that were willing to be honest with me. So I learned right away that, basically an eighth of weed can make 7 joints. Mm-hmm. And, you can keep 2 of them if you can get someone else to take the other 5. And so the first experience I had with that is my big brother saying, where are we going to get some smoke from today? And that was the summer that it just hit, like, well, we're not going to go without it, from here on out. And
at that point it was fucking, we got to get it.
we got it, and thankfully it was around, and it was around in the form of brickweed. Yep. It was around in the form of
beasters.
Just the whatever, whether you call them beasters or whether you call them the nugs or whether you had the greens, or even a lot of time. I remember the first time somebody got one that smelled sweet, and it was the perps. It wasn't purple, it just smelled sweet. And that was our first, was like the perps. And then we had some friends that started growing hydro, and closet hydro grows where the bud was so wet you had to have a fucking electric coffee grinder to shred it to smoke it.
Oh damn.
But we were blessed, so blessed that there were, Michigan is home to so many incredible brewers and farmers and things like that cannabis and cannabis extraction is like very, it's almost the same as a brewery operation in reverse. We're still using the same bath. We're just dumping it with a different separation, keeping some of the mess instead of letting all the mash go down the drain afterwards or whatnot. So I got a couple friends of my family were made alcohol in different forms, and I was able to see different stills and things like this going. And one of the guys actually made hash oil in a pressurized column that I later found out was called an ISO tube, and they sold them in High Times in the 70s. Looks like a popcorn maker, a blender, and a set of drum cymbals had a baby. Yeah, and you fill this thing up with alcohol, and you put some weed in it, and you run it for 3 days, and it's a pressure bomb. If you don't keep ice on it, it'll blow up.
For 3 days?
Yep, you keep it on for 3 days.
Wait, you got to keep ice on it for 3 days?
Yep, and the shit melts. So we used to skip school and sit at this dude's house and put ice on this thing, and he would break us off some hash when it was done. And again, too young, but old enough to know how to get out of school and operate this hash maker. And we used to take the hash and we would put it, today it would be comparable to like some Nug Run RSO. And we used to take that and we would put it into a little rush vial, and then we would heat up a steel rod and have a straw and take free hit, tokes right off of this shit, flash it in the little bucket and hit this hash, and I don't think I ever seen a different variation of that for dabs until the spoon started getting the hole in the side of the top of the rim with the glass wand. And that was like the next evolution after that. But weed has always been around, man. I found, around me growing up, I found people that basically guided me towards cannabis and kept telling me, if you fuck with the drugs, you're gonna be dead or in prison. You know what I mean?
Something going on with your sound?
With mine.
Laws, it sounding right to you?
Oh yeah, it went a little
like, I don't know what happened.
Let's see if it can
Might have been. Did you get a text or something?
I don't know any better now.
No, you sound.
It's garbled.
Yeah, you're all of a sudden it's very
like echo-ish or something. All right. He's gonna pop back in on us. That shit crazy, man.
Yeah, bro, we had some good times in that club. I'll be honest with you.
Like, damn, yo, I just don't. That's just like I don't understand if. I don't understand how you able to maintain. So, let's talk about the Vehicle City Society. I mean, social, man.
Yeah.
If it's not accepted, how are you able to maintain this? And not only able to maintain it, but maintain it for 6 years and be successful. Like,
so
is it? Hold on, stop. Is it more accepted by your community and just not accepted by the higher ups? Is what it is. That's where you get your backing from.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that yes to both. The higher up the channels you go, especially into the House of Representatives in the state of Michigan, you find that more than 50% of them are investors into corporate licenses for cannabis grows. So your number one competition in anybody is the higher ups, and then their goal, or maybe not, maybe that's my they thing and my perception of thems and theys, but I believe that the government intends to divide us by any means necessary.
Oh, always. That's always been the plan.
And so at Vehicle City Social, we find ourselves in a township inside of Flint, in Genesee Township. And that township has been understanding of the fact that Michigan has a medical marijuana program that was voted for by the people. And that program allows medical marijuana patients access to marijuana by any means reasonable. Okay. And that under that program, a medical caregiver in the state of Michigan has the right to be reimbursed by donation for his expenses incurred.
Okay.
So the idea that those two people would meet at a Kroger parking lot or in your driveway or something of that nature is completely absurd. And so what I do is I provide a monitored standalone building and private parking with security and camera, and we're able to monitor that environment and provide a safe transfer site where patients and caregivers can meet. Now, if you're going to meet somebody and you're going to experience this, should it be a blank or a tasteless or whatever, I don't want it to be a empty environment. I want it to be a place where you feel comfortable sitting down. And you might have to wait for someone, or you might want to spend some time. So the importance of the food is a huge part, because I think breaking bread is more than money. It's more than just eating. It's a physical interaction with each other, right, where we share something that's, smoking a joint together is a totally another form. Sharing weed's a different form, but I really feel that the music, when two people engage and enjoy the music together, when two people engage and enjoy food together, when you're actually enjoying the substance of life together, there's something magic there. There's goodness, that evolves.
Right.
And that's, I think, why the township understands that we're not bad, is because we've been transparent with them, and we've shown them that we're not looking to make this a negative impact. We're not even looking to make a huge, in my eyes, I know we're creating a huge impact, but we're not trying to light up the place and, over advertise it and make it, we're not trying to do that either. We want it to be somewhere that's welcoming and safe for anybody for all of us, so that we can all have somewhere, whether you smoke or not, whether it's a joint, a bong, a bowl, a blunt, a backwood, a dab, medible, maybe it's just a topical, rub it on, however you choose to use cannabis. It should be all right with the people around you, and you should never be doing it alone. You should never be trying to find the strain or the process or those are things that together as a community, we're able to dissect and target and get people treatment that they may or may not know that they needed or have ever had access to.
Right. Damn, man.
So many different forms of just extraction alone, and each of those different forms of extraction having a different effect on the uptake, whether it be through an edible or a topical. So many variables that most people are never going to consider. And then the pure honesty of the industry is that maybe 70% of all the material that's going to go into those edibles or topicals is going to be waste or undesirable. And so I really stand behind going against that and trying to expose what distillate and food grade and what a lot of these things are and are not. And most of them are not usable.
All right, so talk to us about the summer burnout.
Oh, man, we've done one of the biggest shows that we had a pleasure of doing. I got to be part of a team that did Summer Burnout. That's Four Seasons entertainment and events, and we put together a group of guys that we each had a job to do. And my job was to provide entertainment and get people signed up. And they wanted to do a rock show to begin with. Mm-hmm. We had a month to go. I tried signing a couple of bands that I knew, and I had to convince my partners that I had the right pick of rap artist from Detroit that I could put a stage show that would sell out the event.
Right.
And with 26 days to go, they gave me the approval. But the budget was, less than what these guys would cost. And so I had to it took me 3 days on the ground in Detroit. And I went to alleys, and I went to studios, and I went to hotels and casinos, and I tracked every one of these guys down, everybody I wanted on the set. And I got 12 of the biggest names in Detroit hip hop on one stage for 1 day of open exposure that had almost no barrier between you and these guys, mm-hmm. and them able to have their own golf carts and come out into the event. Yeah. And just an incredible day. Summer Burnout was one of the coolest events. That was something that Cocoa Extracts, Northern Connections, and myself were able to put together. Shout out to Mrs. Coco. My paperwork game is like, napkins. And this lady, God love her, she just, she took care of all of it. Anything that I gave her scribbles on, she made sure it looked professional in the end.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, we were able to bring, we did almost like a 10,000 person crowd and 100 booths. And like I said, some real big names.
Where did you have the event?
We did that at the Auto City Speedway, formerly where High Times was held.
Okay.
So a great venue for it. We had the food trucks out there. We had, I set the stage up a little differently where it was closer to the event. So everybody was, you had to yell over the music, but damn it, you could see the show.
Yeah, hey, that's what you want to do. First of all, you want to be close enough so that you can hear it. And if I can hear you too good, that means the music ain't loud enough. You know what I'm saying? Shit. All right. What about what about the thing you're doing with the Cannabis Culture TV?
So that was you know, that's been a thing that we've put on pause due to again, industry, man. Everybody going their own direction, but those are episodes that are supposed to have perspective from all angles, and my angle was the legacy caregivers and medical market.
Gotcha. That worked. Were you able to get anything done with that? Maybe not.
Yeah, we were really that Cannabis Culture TV. It is that's a great viewpoint from Forever Jay. He's been blessed to have found himself a home at Comcast Ventures, which is one of the largest corporate licenses in the world, and you know, so that's one angle. My angle is the view from here in the city and still from the legacy end of it. And then Terry was a license holder, and you know, I'd love to see that thing come back to full circle and be able to continue on. And huge shout out to those guys. You know what I mean? I got love for everybody in the game, wherever you are, however you're doing it. It takes all of us doing what we can. You know, again, I truly believe if we all did what we could, we would all have more than we need. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Cannabis Culture TV, definitely, that was, there's a cool episode on there. You can see I rolled up a couple of 1 ounce doobies to go smoke down at Cobo Hall for the Canacon. And
hold on. Ounce?
Yeah. Rolled up some ounce doobies to take to the head. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pass it. Yeah, smoked them. I probably put more than an ounce. The one I roll on the show is probably like QP.
I'm saying, what did you roll it in, Sop?
Papers. I'm a master roller too, man. I don't want to brag on it, but you know, I've challenged an entire show full of people to a joint rolling contest or backwood rolling contest. I've done backwood rolling contest 5 shows. I've won at a High Times against anybody that was willing to. I've won at a Secret Sesh twice against anybody that was willing to. I've won at Abracadabs against anybody that was willing to. And we had like 5 to 20 competitors at every one of these things that came up out of the crowds of thousands.
And what is it? Just roll the biggest one you can roll?
Not even the biggest one, the best one.
Okay.
It don't matter the size. It's just got to be the best one. But I can roll a big ass one. You know, I can roll them as big as you can. However big you can think of it, we can roll it. If we got enough weed, we'll make it. We'll make a wrap for it. There's no limit to. It's like you see people getting into weed and they're like, man, I wonder if you could do. I'm like, yeah, done that. And they're like, what? Yeah, we did that too. And yeah, they're like, wait. You take all the fun right out of it, you know, and they're like, no, I still love to do it every time. Goddamn, I'm not saying I don't want to roll it. Let's roll the joint up. Goddamn. You know, I see hash, you know what I mean? That we see good hash, and I just start thinking, this is, just solventless ice water hash. And when you start getting down to ice water extracts and really just fine detail to the grow and to the harvesting and to the processing, and you start to just get to this point where it's not even that you're just bougie, it's beyond that. It's like you don't want to smoke anything that's not really, really good.
Hell yeah.
And then, like I said earlier about sharing that weed with earlier at the social, I was just up at the social earlier, and that was where, you know, one of my managers, she's like, you got a joint? And I'm like, it's like that moment on Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, you know, where he's like, can't lie and shit. And I'm like, yes, no. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm looking in that jar. I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Hey, fuck it though. But listen, man, let's do it, man. Let's talk some hash, man.
Yeah. So, boy, I got some hash, man. Even laws included, dude, in the conversation has driven me to smoke more hash.
Yeah.
And I keep on hand maybe 40 different flavors of hash rosin. I'm always washing 2 or 3 of my own. I'm always keeping 10 or 12 brands of fire in the loop, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I think
is hash available at the social?
Oh man, oh yeah, you're always gonna find. Listen, if there's a need, we're gonna make sure that it gets filled at the social. If you have an ailment, no matter how big, how small, if you have something that can be treated with cannabis, we're going to find a solution. And if that be really good solventless hash, we're going to make sure you got the best solventless hash. You know, and there's a group of community caregivers that there's nothing you're not going to find, you know, whether it be edibles that you need that are gluten-free or sugar-free or vegan-made or processed without this or that or made with, you know, or if it's you just like to smoke sativa or this, or you prefer diamonds, or you really like solventless, or, you know, even down to you know, there's a few cultivators out there that are still processing Lebanese hash and doing you know, dry temple balls and things like that and smoking out of globes. So you know, it's all available.
So and you know what, with you saying that, I've been meaning to ask for the edibles. Now we all know what the product is. Is there any way to make them without having that pork in them?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Anything out there can be made better, you know. Very much so. Any kind of gelatin or gummy that's out there can be reproduced anyway. We can do them vegan, we can do them, you know, you can do them natural, raw, just fruit. Its texture is what you get down to eventually, you know. How and taste. How much do you want to taste the meds, and how much does the texture going to have an impact on your enjoyment with it?
Right. Gotcha.
There are a lot of things, like for myself, I don't really like to eat candy as an edible.
Okay.
I don't, you know, I know everybody loves gummies, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Much so like watching doctors or people, you know, my elders tell me I don't want to see you smoke anything. I don't really want to see you eat candy to get a medicinal effect.
Okay.
So I've seen, you know, something that I had tried doing for a long time was I used to make like a homemade Cliff Bar, do my own granola and oats.
Okay.
And medicate those in the honey and use guave, medicated agave and honey. And I would make natural bars and try to make meal replacements and things that were more, you know, to dual purpose.
Right.
And I'd like to see a lot more of that. I'd like to see more. I had tried doing like a juice, a natural, actual cold pressed juice, medicated, but they only hold for so long, you know. But I'd really like to see that evolution in the cannabis market where an edible is not targeted as a candy.
And I'm glad you brought it out, because I was just getting ready to say, why is it specifically that you feel that way, though, Saab? Do you think it takes away from what it's actually doing to you by creating it like the whole candy type of vibe?
Sugar's the biggest drug on the planet. If I'm anti anything, you know, I'm anti drug abuse, and I think that, you know, cannabis has proven time and time again to me that there's really not an overdose limit. There are several people that need to drink more water when they smoke. Mm-hmm. There are several people that need to make sure that they eat something before they smoke. Yeah. But as far as I know, and I've pretty educated on it, I don't believe that anybody's ever had an actual overdose that was anything other than a sugar interference or a lack of hydration. Gotcha. I did take out a sound production guy at High Times one year with the ice cream he was talking about.
Bro, I ruined so many people on dabs at that Michigan Cup in the VIP booth. You know what I mean? It's true. I've seen big 300-pound motherfuckers come up there, hit that shit, and drop like a sack of potatoes. You know, yeah. And it's true to what Sapo said. Got to stay hydrated. Should always be eating. Have to be aware of how much your tolerance is so that you can medicate properly. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing is, especially with dabs, when they were first coming on board, people didn't know how to handle that shit. So they were just taking it to the dome and dropping like flies.
Well, it doesn't help when, you know, I think another reason that me and you actually probably hit it off as well as I was rocking a sublimator, you know, so.
Bro, we were rocking subs, but no, you and I, they did the worst thing. So here's the deal, right? High Times has this VIP booth, and I used to run the VIP area, okay? So I'd come in and set up the sublimators so the people come in, have something to smoke off of, you know, feel that little extra
Hold on.
And so they bring Sapo in. They bring Sapo in, right, D? For his medicated ice cream, and they put the two of us right next to each other. You motherfuckers were coming in there, eating ice cream, melting face, getting to the third table and passing the fuck out. It was we was like, it was like just Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth just playing together.
You really did have ice cream. He wasn't fucking around then.
No, really bro. Did. The Sapo was slinging the ice cream, bro.
I brought there's a brand called Cosmic Gardens. Brandon, love Brandon, shout out Cosmic Gardens, and he'll tell you, I brought Cosmic Gardens to market first in unlabeled containers at High Times VIPs, and that was what we brought to them, was these orders of custom ice creams. And I've had a couple of my own namesake ice creams through the company or whatever, but now they exclusively do CBD products so that they can be nationally distributed. And you can't blame them, you know, but damn, what I wouldn't do for a gallon of some black cherry ice cream right now.
Yeah. Oh, the old school, baby. Man. That stuff hits you too.
Yeah, because at the time I was growing this strain, Cherry Fuel, and we were medicating it with that and calling it the black cherry fuel ice cream. And I see now that there's a big wave of that where certain brands now, like 710, are using the terpenes in the cannabis to base what they're going to put into the edibles. You know, tier 1 is fruit flavored extracts, and those go into all the fruit flavored candy. And then tier 2 is all the gassy strains, and those just go into typical cover-ups, chocolates and different things like that. So gotcha. It's so wild that now we're finally starting to individually target, you know, at least we're going to that next step. You got to go to the next step, because it can't
breaking it down, evolution.
It cannot continue to be waste material that gets overspun so that they can distill it to be able to put it into edible, like most edible makers don't ever pursue any further knowledge than distillate, because they just know the distillate melts down into the edible. So why go any further? You know what I mean? It tested clean. It was what it was. But if you don't know what it was, though, you know what I mean? I feel like probably some of all of that is probably waste material. I got to do a dab.
Look, I was ready to say mid-sentence. I ain't mad at you.
There's nothing better than being able to sit back, talk about what you do in life, promote it, and smoke a little cannabis. D, I'm glad you had a good time at the show this weekend, bro. That's awesome. I'm glad you made some good connections. Shout out to Canna Expo fucking. That's nice.
Yeah, man. Let me shout out some people, man, because I had a chance to go up and cover this Expo Canada's first cannabis expo here in CT, man. It was a good event, man. Shout out to Mr. Nice Guy, Blazing Vibes, my girl Soulgasm, Glassworks. Yeah, there we go. My man up at Puff. Yo, it was a nice time, man. Good connects, rock candies. It was a good event, man. Good time. I sat in on a couple of lectures. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put an episode together that's coming.
Look at this banger, yeah. Clouds.
Escalade. What you dabbing, Sop?
When it hits you right.
Shout out to JMP Glass, man, for making me this rig.
It's a beauty.
It is.
I am dabbing.
Yeah, shit got you hot, boy.
Some heat. He's dabbing the fire.
So. Oh, shit.
Did he just say he was dabbing soul, bro? Holy shit.
Oh, man, this is the Nano Wafers. Nano Wafers. And then I mixed it with drop cookie. We got it's got banana OG, Kush Bins, Tangy, and drop cookie.
That sounds like a yeah.
Anyway, that's what I needed right there, was one of those. Man, my other homie, I just got this new wire wrap for my torch for my birthday.
Oh, okay. You just celebrated the birthday?
In April, I did.
Oh, okay. Happy belated to you.
Got this crock base for the torch as well. Another friend of mine did. Shout out XXXXXBT. Only made me a little crock base stand for the torch, dude. You gotta have a Blazer torch. Shout out Blazer torch. If it ain't a Blazer, why you burning?
Hey, you got some treats, huh?
Oh man, I got spoiled through the years, dude. We got another one over here. This is one of my favorite Blazer stands. These are the Mamba guards, so you don't get burned.
Mm-hmm.
But the stand, scrubbing bubbles,
baby. Yep.
It
Mr.
cleans the
Clean.
balls so you don't have to.
Oh shit, that shit tough. Hey man, listen. Before we get up out of here, King, I wanna actually thank you, man, for giving us a little bit of your time today and blessing us here on the Elite Podcast, man. We appreciate you, man. We always wanna be able to sit down and link with like minds, man. And today was a good, refreshing conversation, man. I appreciate it. Like-minded individuals
is really what we kind of broadcast we're looking for. Actually, that's our term as well. I always tell everybody we're looking for like-minded individuals.
That's it,
you know, and sometimes even just open-minded individuals, because there are a lot of allies out there that perhaps don't think like-minded, but they're open-minded to the idea we do. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that we have to, as a culture, we need to. I'm not willing to give up the ground that we've built, because the foundation that we have in the legacy market, I believe, is ours. And I think if you're a caregiver in any state, that should be your pre-existing approval to be an intake at any license. And they should assist with those costs. And that's ultimately what I think we need to be fighting for, is legal intake for caregiver, pre-existing legacy caregivers grows. There's no way that they should be able to do away with that, where many states have had emergency situations where the caregivers were the only supply chain for the dispensaries. Mm-hmm. And in Michigan, for 3 years, exclusively caregiver product only supplied all the dispensaries. And at this point, they have written it to where they have no intake other than if they want to get a license, and in which case Michigan has said that they have to voluntarily forfeit their caregiver license to get an approval to have a recreational license. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, you know, as we come to an end of this show, man, that's what I'd just like to say is, like you said, man, keep being open-minded, keep being, you know, like-minded views, joining groups, people listening to podcasts, speak up, speak in. It's okay to be strange. Don't be a stranger, but we got to break the stigma associated with cannabis. It's all right with me, however you choose to do it, whether it's a joint, a bong, a bowl, a blunt, a backwood, a dab, a medical. Maybe it's just a topical. Rub that shit on. That's how I feel about it.
Definitely. Hey, listen, man. Before we get up out of here, we gotta hit you with this favorite 5. Stop. I'm about to ask you 5 quick hitters.
Shit.
Quick hitters. You gotta answer whatever, you know, whichever comes to your head first. But
I feel like I'm on Hot Ones right now or something.
That's right. Here we go.
We start off with something simple though.
All right.
Flowers or resin?
Oh, well, rosin.
Oh, we knew that though. All right. Give me your you personally, your 2 top strands that you smoke the most.
Sapos.
What?
Is one of those.
What is it?
Right now, I'm smoking Delta Diamonds and Sapos.
Okay. And that
Sapos is like OZ Kush with guava.
Okay.
It's like a super. It's borderline. It tastes like if you've had really good runs that did not taste like gelato, anytime that you get like a fruit variant,
yeah,
that's sort of what this is like. And I tell everybody that because, man, the reason that the ZA exists is because of the Z. And if we're not crediting that to Skittles, then it's insane. And everybody's smoking gelato packs. And I'm like,
yep.
Where's like the ZA doesn't look like that, man. That's really good gelato. I'm not doubting you. That might be gelato by Ice Cream Cake. It might fucking be God's gift to gelato. And I'm still gonna love smoking it. I'm not saying I'm not gonna blow that bag either, but I've been to Skittles. I've been to 3rd Gen, Dying Breed, Moonshine Melts, Cabin on the Mountain, dude. I got to go up to fucking Northern California.
Oh shit!
Sleep on the hillside and wake up and go out and do a dab in the fucking morning sun and Skittles off the mountain. It's a whole nother episode. I can't.
Right,
One day we'll have the Skittles episode.
Let's do, here we go. What's your favorite food?
Damn, that's,
Just regular
sushi.
favorite food. Sushi?
Sushi.
What's your favorite infused food?
Shit. What do I eat the most of? Damn. That's like a brand thing even. That's fucked up. Spurts. The brand Spurts. Shout out to Spurts, man. You guys make the best damn chew in the game.
Okay. Favorite weed movie?
Fuck. Shit, man. That goes any Cheech and Chong and How High are equally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nice Dreams had to have been, because when they had that pool cover with all the weed under it.
Watching Sergeant Stadinko turn into a lizard mid-movie was trippy as fuck, but I gotta say that next movie, when their cousin Red came and they went and did the space coke and then come back.
Pee Wee Herman, baby.
Dude, yeah, he's like, I'm sorry I took the money.
Yo,
I'm not sorry.
Think about this, though. I'm sorry. Think about this, bro. Think about this shit. This motherfucker had the bomb ass fucking smoking device. Remember, he packed that weed and they were like, "Ah."
Dude, homie Cheech had to jump onto the fucking elevator naked. Man, they had that dude.
All right, okay, so I done asked you about your favorite food, favorite infused food, strains to smoke, everything.
You got all four now. So here it is, holiday.
Now listen, man, what's your favorite holiday, Sop?
This is a good question. Damn, I like them all, but can you say your birthday?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I mean, Hash Bash Cup Hotel happens on my birthday weekend.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
And every year, you guys has you ever been? You know anybody that's been?
Not me.
Yes.
Not me.
Holy shit.
All right, so before you get going now, because this is actually really good. So he said his birthday on Hash Bash Cup.
Yeah,
now, if you could have any 5 people, any 5 dead or alive, take it away, Dwayne.
Any 5 dead or alive on your birthday at the fest, who you inviting to come sess with you? 5 people, dead or alive.
Wow, man. You guys make me cry on camera, dude. That's a serious wow. Shit. My brother.
Okay.
Johnny Fingers.
Okay.
Man. I gotta have Josh. I gotta have my partner Josh with me.
Okay.
On the social.
Okay.
Man, I gotta have DJ Teflon with me.
Oh, Teflon.
Shit. Oh man. God. Greg Joslin's got to be there.
Okay, that's 4.
Man. I gotta, dude, to be able to get stoned with somebody that's not here no more, that's like, That's a big one. I would love to be able to get stoned with Cookie Monster again. That dude.
There you go. 5 people personal to him.
And that rounds it off. See, and you know what? I think that might be one of the only ones we've had 5 personals, Law.
It was all personal to him. You see, because it wasn't like Marley or Jay-Z or no, it was like he had to think about 5 people in his life.
Yeah, that was I like that. I like that, Sop, because we've been asking that question for 2 seasons now, man. And we have a lot of unique answers, but I like your 5, man.
Cookie Monster walked me through any door he had access to with he didn't owe me nothing and I didn't give him nothing. And that dude, man, I came from Flint and all he knew was that I loved weed, the terps, the hash, and it was the same way he did. And
that was a connection.
I got to go to Mecca, you know what I mean, and go look at things that other people will never see.
Right.
It don't exist now because at that time, Tony Mendo, Fieldsy, Brandon, and Shiloh Massive, and Pops, and all the cousins and everybody worked each other's gear together, and we're popping off Skittles, and in addition to all these the melon brains and the peach rings and the OZ Kush and these things that are legendary. So Cookie Monster made all that stuff happen. Met the dude in Detroit. Shout out Big J Dab House. Made legendary things happen. Set the ball in motion. SOPA Worldwide, Vehicle City Social, the whole entire ball of wax, bringing burner. Shout out to Teflon. Dude has been there for me anytime that I've needed him. Every time. DJ Teflon's made things happen and been there countless times for never thanked the dude enough. Greg Joslin introducing me to anybody in the city, music-wise, when he was dug in deep with his own pockets and made all these music relations prosperous opportunity, without knowing. And again, without my brother being like, damn, we got to go get that bag. What are we going to do? I'm like, fuck, we're going to get that bag. But yeah, that's the list, I think.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, appreciate you for coming through, man. Love to get you back on here sometime soon, man, so we can
of course.
Again, man.
Always. Thanks again. You guys have a great night, man.
Hey, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Peace. Season 2, Cannabis series. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Check it out, man. Elite Podcast, man. Don't sleep on it. Tune in.
You know what it is. Hey, we'll be back next week with another edition, man. Plus, we're going to put together an expo edition as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We out.
Peace.